Rather than a review today, I have a DIY video for some custom-built furniture that we made for my 10-year-old son's room. This is Mare Product Reviews. Now every piece of furniture in my son's room is custom made just for him, and it feels like this project has been forever in the making. My husband first built this framework for the top of the bunk bed back in June of 2019. While it takes us a while to actually finish projects, my husband very suddenly gets ideas, goes and gets wood, and gets on it right away and does a huge chunk of build very quickly. I can remember my kitchen for a while when he had this idea being turned into a building station where he put this together and then we took pieces apart and started staining. This is not Jeff's first go at building a bed. He built our queen size bed and also another twin size bed for our daughter. And he started out building beds looking at different patterns on Anna White and going from there. So when he decided that he wanted to build a custom bunk bed and put 3 pieces of furniture all in one for this bed, he had a lot of ideas that he would get ideas from different patterns that he saw that were out there. And then he just decided to go for it and build his own custom design. When it comes to our building projects, Jeff does the majority of the building, the designing. He's the man with the vision, and I do the staining, painting, etc. We work together to get all of the finished pieces put up and together, and our children and family are really involved with us doing this, and it is insanely rewarding to see all of those pieces come together. And to see that Jeff's idea is actually going to work. So for this project, we decided that we wanted something dark and rustic. We decided to go with the Jacobine, which is one of my favorite go-to stains, and it didn't do us wrong here. It never does. We were really pleased with the way that the wood turned out. Our 4-year-old daughter loved this bunk bed so much and that she could go underneath and play under it that it actually inspired Jeff for the next project, which is a playhouse bunk bed that he made for her. Even though he built the frame for that second bunk bed right after this, it's still not completely finished, but someday we will finish all the framework on it and I will have it up here. So funny story, when we put all of this together, got all the pieces stained and then built it and put it up in my son's room, we realized that we had forgotten to construct the ladder and stain that. So for a while he was climbing in and out of bed off of this work ladder. The ladder was the next piece that was built and stained, and within a day or two, we had that attached to his bed. So it was a little bit safer for him to get in and out, especially during the night. You may have noticed already that this is not your typical bunk bed. For one thing, it's not 2 beds, it's only the single bed up on top. We wanted to make the most out of his space, even though he has a really good sized room, and make 3 pieces of furniture all in one. The bed on top, a desk in the middle, with shelving and dresser. So the next thing to go on would be those dresser drawers. There actually are 2 separate dresser sections. On the far side are the long drawers for all of his clothes, and I'll show you those shorter drawers in just a minute in the front. And next we put on the stained face plates with the hardware. I'm really pleased with this dresser on the side. We wanted this to be a dresser built in the bed that would work for him not only when he's 10, but as he grows older, and give him plenty of space for clothes. And as we know, when you become an adult and a teenager, your clothes get a whole lot bigger. So I really feel like these had a nice width and depth for all of his clothes, and they work so well for him. Originally, we planned to do 4 large drawers on the side and then a shelving area here in the front, but we changed plans and decided to do 5 small drawers, and I'm so glad that we did. I love these small drawers at the front. They are so perfect for organizing small pieces of clothes. So he uses these small drawers to keep his socks in, his underwear in, which they can all be folded and lined up, his undershirts, his pajamas, his bathing suits, all of those things that you might take and put into the top drawer of a dresser. We've made into 5 smaller drawers, and he still has empty space at the top that he's not utilizing, but you could really put anything in there that's small and keep it nice and organized. I love these small drawers on the side of the dresser, like a whole separate dresser piece. They work so well, and I just want tiny drawers everywhere now. If you watch my reviews a lot, you may have seen the top of his bed when I reviewed this blue striped comforter from Uazi Bedding. So that's what I've got up top on his bedding here. He loves it, and I will put the link to that review in my write-up below. Our son lived in a state of construction in his room for quite some time because we built in an extra closet in the corner, ripped out his old desk that used to be built in the wall. We were building this bed. There were a lot of things happening. And when we were getting kind of near the end, ready to finish his bed, we noticed that he had a lot of Nerf guns and things that were odd to keep stored places, and they just filled up his entire closet or were scattered all over his floor all the time. And while we were building things for him, we decided that we would build in an extra piece of furniture and make him a Nerf wall to store everything. But rather than doing just a pegboard on the wall, Jeff wanted to make a bench underneath for extra toy storage that matched everything in the same Jacobean stain and could just sit opposite his bed and collect all his toys underneath and then mount all of those odd things to store up top. This bench was a super simple project, just a couple of pieces, and Jeff was able to put it together really quickly. It probably took me way longer to stain all this than it did for him to actually cut things and build it and put it together. We measured this just to the size that we wanted for storage bins to go underneath. Underneath, he could store all of his odds and ends and his different Hot Wheels cars and track pieces that took up a lot of room in the closet as well. And then that pegboard went up next. We have tons of wall space in his room and a real problem with clutter being on the floor. So we decided to nip that floor clutter in the bud by utilizing the wall space for all of his toys. Unfortunately, clutter still happens, but he really loves to organize and do and redo his pegboard, how he designs everything out. We've added buckets up there to kind of organize his things, and it's a great way to get him thinking and storing his objects and playthings so that he can get to them quickly and he can have everything right up there where he can see it. Right around the time that Jeff started building this bed back in June, he also started many other projects, and it took a while to really get everything finished up. He just did the bulk of the work while it was still warm outside for a lot of projects and didn't get around to finishing everything. But I'm pleased to report that in December, we finished the desktop piece and it was installed. So now the bed is complete. We have the bed up on top, shelving on the side, a desk in the middle, and dressers on the side. So our boy's room is complete, and he actually got to have a lot of say in specifically what he wanted for his bed, for his room, and for his space. He loves to show his room off, and what's really special is that we have all of this hand-built furniture made by his dad just for him. This did cost quite a bit to build. All of that is solid wood, but we've easily saved ourselves hundreds in making this ourselves rather than going out and buying it. And of course it's custom, so we got to do exactly what we wanted. It took a lot of time and effort, but it was definitely worth it. Thanks so much for tuning in to my channel. I will be back with more product reviews very soon and hopefully more DIY building projects just like this one if we ever finish the rest of our projects. Hit that subscribe button and the bell if you don't want to miss a single video, and I will see you guys next time.